In the news for April the 3rd, 2014. Today's news and today's top headlines. Still no reveal or no evidence or any results from the plane crash as they continue to sift through the southern Indian Ocean for possibly debris and recorders. Moreover, to the Fort Hood shooting that occurred yesterday, they don't believe that it was a staged flag. However, that's not fully ruled out. However, 4.5 years earlier, there was another shooting that happened 4.5 years ago that involved similar ammo, and also they both shooters, the one yesterday that occurred at Fort Hood as well as the one that occurred 4.5 years earlier or prior, both killed themselves. 3 people were injured from the shootings. They were wounded. 3 people from the 15 are wounded in critical condition, and they do believe the inspected doctors think that they will recover and be back on duty. As a result, I hope they don't take this as another assault on the Second Amendment about the right to bear arms. A lot of times people like to go after people with the Second Amendment, and they tend to try to take that away. But the thing is, it's not the Second Amendment. The rudimental cause is really the psychotropic drugs. All the drugs that they have all the soldiers on. It's like they're walking experiments, and they come home and beat up on their wives and end up killing people and end up killing people, even killing themselves, and even having violent shootings because of the powerful carcinogens and psychotropic drugs that they're on, causes them to lose their mind and actually makes them do things because of the side effects that are contained thereof in the drugs, makes them react that way because of the reactions and the side effects that are stated on the label of the drugs that can do these. Let's think about the cause, people. It's not the guns that's the cause. It's the drugs, and people that have the guns, that have the drugs, and who are on these drugs are not normal, and they shouldn't lose their guns. What should happen is we should review all the drugs in this country and not put people on such strong types of drugs, and put them more on like herbs and minerals and vitamins, because that really is what cures people a lot of times, not all these pharmaceutical drugs that come from big companies, pharmaceutical companies, and then ends up killing people a lot of times. So what we need to do is we need to really think about this, folks, and get people to realize and to wake up that there's better hope in herbs, because herbs really cure you. They're not like the drugs that you take from the pharmaceutical companies that you're told to take for psychological and other problems that most of the time just cover up the symptoms, and they don't really get rid of the symptoms at all. They just kind of numb your nerves or cover it up. And that's not the way you get rid of pain. The way, medicine's supposed to heal people. According to doctors, when you go to your academy and when you go for residency, that's what they always taught, is that medicine, we're in the business to heal people. But it seems like even though they say that at the academy, and when they get indoctrinated and they get compartmentalized in their particular specials of profession, they tend to forget about the business of healing people. Instead, they're in the business of medicating people, and keeping people medicated is really the truth about what they're doing, because that's what they're reprogrammed to do once they leave the academy, and also some of that's being taught even at these so-called prestigious schools where they go. And that's what's causing people to die and many people to suffer on many things that they shouldn't be suffering from, because the poor oversight in our healthcare system when it comes to medicine. And also because of the Obamacare, a lot of people aren't getting the treatments that they need because of these things that they have that's going on. And that's what's causing these things to happen. So let's look at the cause. The cause is not the guns. The cause is the drugs. If the drugs weren't in the soldiers, and the soldiers weren't halfway out of their mind and half like in a zombie state because of the drugs, that give these symptoms like that, then they probably wouldn't have gone and shot up a school or shot up an army base. Or they probably, even the kids that are on these drugs too, that are very, very experimental, and a lot of them haven't had full trials, even though they had some, but they're just releasing anyway. And some of the side effects on a lot of these new drugs say that one of it is possible death or paralysis, meaning you die, you stop breathing. And that's not something you would want to take. If you are taking drugs, you need to find something that doesn't have death as one of its side effects, or zombie-like symptoms as another side effect. So if you're going to take drugs, try to find out with your doctor ones that you can take that don't give you all these horrible, debilitating side effects like most of them end up giving you. So this is InfoWars in the news, and we need to really look at the drug war in this country, because the war in this country is a losing battle because we've never won it. Even though they claim that we have, we made some progress in it, but we have not won it. We never have. What we have made this country is into a big drug cartel between the national banks, not the banks where you go, but the big world banks, and they make tons, billions of dollars off of the drugs, opium and things, and other drugs, and even pharmaceuticals. We made it a profit center rather than a business to really help people, to make them actually well. And in a lot of cases, there are a lot of things that can cure people that are natural, that are in the world without man-made medicine or cocktails of drugs to help them pharmaceutically get well. There are actually natural remedies that can do the same thing and actually cure you in a lot of cases. Not in all, but in most cases. And even some things that grow in the rainforest and other places of the world that they keep threatening to cut more and more down each and every day, that could actually cure you of an illness in a lot of cases. But because they want to put you on all these man-made artificial carcinogens and psychotropic drugs and other things, they are what are messing up people and killing people a lot faster, and are also causing many violence and strange, weird, bizarre, zombie-like syndromes to many people, because they really aren't really doing the job that they're supposed to be doing as a cure. All they're doing is create more problems to try to cover up one problem, but create a host of other problems, which cause other people to go on other drugs to cancel out a lot of the other side effects that are of the current drugs. And those drugs have more side effects, so then you basically are under a prescription of a mystery cocktail that is both lethal and fatal in a lot of cases, and it does causing you to have more problems down the road, which a lot of cases does result in death. This is Michael DeSilvis. We need to really look at our medicines and really look at the medical profession and really talk about it and try to reform it in a way so that people can use the natural alternative with real herbs and real medicines that are naturally in the world, that really do work a lot more than the pharmaceutical big cat companies. We've been relying on them too long, and that's why a lot of people are dying, because they're not really being treated for the cause or the problem. They're just being covered up. So we really need to look at that. And this is in the news for April 3rd, 2014. I'll see you tomorrow with another update. Bye for now. Please subscribe down below, and please tell people about us. And please help us if you can by making a donation, if you feel led by the Holy Spirit. See you later for now.